Welcome to Learn Butoh. This is episode 19, Failure for Itself. One could argue Butoh is the art of failure. And so I'm going to go over what I feel are two different types of failure. For terminology's sake, to make things a little bit easier, I'll say one is organic failure and another is inorganic failure. Now, in prior episodes, for instance, the episode on falls, we would mimic a fall, for instance. And so that could be seen as a failure, but it's not like we messed up or made a mistake. We are mimicking what we feel is a mistake or a failure. And so this is why I separate these two different types of failures. I would put that into the category of inorganic failure. You can extend an inorganic failure to anything. For instance, you might feel the qualia of wanting to dance. You might feel that you want to do this. And extend all the energy everywhere. But where's failure in this? You want to concoct a failure. So we can do the same thing, except something has happened. Something has happened to our body. The spirit perhaps is doing that. But in our stage of our body right now, perhaps we want to, but we can't. It's the weakness. It's Hijikata's weak body. And all this, I feel, is still in the category of inorganic failure. What I want to go over, very exciting, organic failure. And these will be broken up into two also. Organic failure is when perhaps you are working on something, a choreography. You're researching a movement, but then something happens, a mistake. That's a failure. But you know what? We can use that mistake. Let's use it. And so this, I would call an organic failure, something that seems to be more in the present moment, something that you could easily discard, but because we're looking to be good Butoh dancers here, we are going to use that. And how can we use that? Well, we can make a motif out of it. For instance, perhaps you slip, the movement of a slipping movement, perhaps you capture that. Oh, what is that? And you capture that shape, that feeling, that qualia, and you use it again. You study that. You study that mistake. You make that mistake basically not even a mistake anymore. You could also use extension. Extension is when you make a mistake and you draw onto it. You continue on with the mistake as if you intended the mistake. Now this happens to me in performances. This happens in improvisation all the time. You have to try to make it look like you meant to do whatever you did. And in the breatharian work, I actually fell. I didn't intend to fall, but you know what? I used that and I loved it. And I kept going with it. You add colors to it, you know? So you can do that. So you have the extension that you can do. You can make motifs out of it. Basically, you claim it as your own. You claim the mistake as your own. You don't discard it. Basically, in improvisational theater, they call that yes and. Whatever it is, that's the material you're given, that's the cards you're given. You're going to use these cards, even though they're crappy cards. Good, because we're in Butoh here, and we'll take it. We'll take it, you know? And so there is another type of failure I would like to mention as well. Suppose you are working on a choreography or something, a movement, and it's not going how you really want. And so you get a body reaction, like, you know, whatever reaction you would see yourself doing if you messed up or something, like, you know, all those different types of, well, what is that? That's a type of failure, your body language. Take it. So, like, just steal that disappointment. Study that disappointment and use it. Use extension, use the motif. You know, this is another type of failure. So what I'm saying is in Butoh, we make use of everything, and especially failure. Fail and use your failures.